Hi everyone. Our course, The History of the Slave South, is just about to start, so I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce myself and tell you a bit about the course. Teaching my Southern History course on the Coursera platform is a really exciting proposition for me, and I want to thank you all for joining me in this project. The course you're about to take is a slightly shorter and more streamlined version of one I teach to undergraduates here at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, in this beautiful room, in fact. For Coursera, I have cut the course from 15 weeks to 10, and so it's a little more focused on core themes than the one I teach here during the semester. It goes deeply into some issues while barely touching on others. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to give you the heads up about what to expect in the course in the coming weeks. First of all, although the course is 10 weeks and I think a pretty intensive experience all around, it is by no means a comprehensive treatment of the subject. Even on the issues it touches on, it's still really only an introduction. And so I urge you to pursue your own interests in conjunction with the lectures and readings the course offers, and I am, of course, available to guide you in anything you need on that front. For reasons having to do with my own intellectual biography, how I was trained and how I do history, the course is far more focused on developments in political economy than it is, for example, on culture. We do touch on questions like African American culture under slavery, on religion, song, dance, and folk art. But as a whole, the course focuses more on matters of work and labor and production, social conditions and political interests, ideology, and struggles. That has to do with my own training and approach to history. Methodologically speaking, I am a social and political historian, and I practice what I've come to think of as a kind of social history of politics. That means that I'm interested in fairly traditional questions of power and politics, why the South seceded, for example, but I tend to approach them in a pretty unconventional way, with a social historian's interest in the role or actions of non-elite people, like the enslaved, or white women, or non-slaveholding yeoman farmers. And you will see this in the way I trace out the main themes of the course, about the rise of slavery as the predominant labor and social system in the American South, and the particular relationship that evolved over time between slavery, capitalism, and democracy in the late 18th and 19th century United States. These are profound questions that reach far beyond the boundaries of U.S. history, and I hope we can have a conversation about that as the course evolves. So what should you expect? Okay, well, each week you will have 2 video lectures to watch, 1 or 2 primary sources to read, and a discussion question to tie these materials together. Every 2 weeks there are also writing assignments, so 5 of them in total. They are short and of varied kinds, all designed to allow you to practice the skills of historical analysis and writing. But you should also know that once the course goes live on January 20th, it is as much your course as it is mine, and you're going to have a huge role in the course overall. I am really looking forward to the interaction, to the conversation I hope we're going to have. In fact, I tried to design the assignments and the discussion questions and peer reflections to open up a global conversation about the history and legacy of slavery. So I really encourage you to bring your own questions, observations, and reflections to bear. This is the point of all of this, after all. I have been teaching and writing about the question of slavery in American democracy since I was an undergraduate, and the subject never loosens its grip on my imagination. For reasons I hope to convey, I see this story as one of the key parts of the making of the modern world. How a nation dedicated to human liberty was built up by the wealth extracted from the labor of enslaved human beings, and then came crashing down, destroyed by the very forces it had unleashed. This subject never fails to engage my passions, and I really hope you end up feeling the same way.